Hey everyone, Lauren here. I'm going to do the white background challenge for the Scrappy sisters. So they've done a Scraptember goodness, YouTube goodness going on. How many times could I say goodness? So every day of the month this year for September, they have done a video and then have a guest YouTuber or Instagrammer, or some days I think they have both happening, so that there's a prompt and a challenge for every day, and we're just joining in. Today's my day, and our challenge today is white background. So for some reason in my head I thought I would do white on white, but then I was like, no, it's not a monochromic, like chromatic white on white only kind of challenge, so I bring in some color in when I embellish it. But that's okay because I like the way it turns out. It's really nice sometimes to do the white on white so that you have this white modelling paste through a stencil like this, and then some texture and stuff, so that when you first look at it you can't take it all in, but as you look further you see all those details of all that white stuff going on. So I'm just using this little stencil here. It's just got little triangles on it. I do believe it's Echo Park. Just a 6x6, and so I have my two photos here of my son who was drinking tea at the cafe, and I've just lightly outlined where the photos were sitting so that I could have a rough idea of where to put the modelling paste, so that I wasn't just putting modelling paste randomly on the page, although I kind of randomly am at the same time, if that makes sense. I sort of want it to go, because the photos are going to be in the top half of the layout, I want the modelling paste around it and then to taper towards each other in the bottom half of the layout, so that it's not just fully stenciled in the background. So I've got my photos here. I'm going to work on the layering while I let it dry for a little, but if you know me, or if you don't, you will in a second, know that I don't wait for mixed media to dry very often, not often at all really. So even though I let it dry by doing my layering behind my photos and some things like that, normally it's still wet when I add my photos, but it's okay, I just be careful. So I'm just using some baking paper. So this is just some really cheap home brand baking paper, so it's nothing like really greasy or anything, but it has this really nice texture and also look to it. So I've got first a little layer that's, cut in and cut around and then ripped on the edge, and then this one here I'm ripping the edges and then I'm scrunching it up, because you can see it gives us this lovely texture in the background. So just making sure it's the size I want, ripping some more. This paper really rips so easily, it's so nice to rip. It's very fun. So I'm just going to add that there in that layer, but I'm going to add some of this cheesecloth first. So I'm cutting it down, just layering it there so I can have an idea of where I want to cut it. And I'm just cutting it as I go so that I know it's exactly the way I want it to be. So on it goes. And all I really am going to do is just shuffle it around there. I'm going to have a look hover it above my page to see if it looks like I like the way it's happening. And then I will just remove the photo, staple it together and add it that way. So you can see here I'm just having to play with the ruffles, and I want the texture to pop out. And actually looking at this video now, I should have put it on a black background, and I might have to do that later, but obviously it wouldn't be good for the challenge, seeing as it's a white background challenge. But you can see how lovely the white layering behind the photo and the texture really pops off on a black background, because I've got that black matte. So next up, I'm just going to use some foam tape to adhere my photo to the cheesecloth textured layer. So you've seen I use my tiny attacher to add the cheesecloth to the paper background, just because it works really well. Wet glue takes a long time, and it also can make fabric like this, or any kind of fabric, stiff, so it's not always ideal at all. And I'm just using some double-sided tape to stick the paper down on top. So here we go. Here comes the layout together. I'm going to work on the embellishments and have fun adding those and a title. So I'm just pulled out this sticker book. It's just a Heidi Swap sticker book. I got it from scrapbook.com in my order where I brought over 100 things at once. So if you want to check that out, that's also here on my channel. But I'm just going to work. I did think I was just going to add mostly black and have it black and white. But then I was trying to resist all the pink really nice things. And then I end up adding pink and loving the way it looks with the pink and the black as the colours on top of the white. So hopefully you're enjoying this YouTube hop and the videos that the ladies are bringing out every day and the guests that they have joining with them. I've enjoyed it so far and will continue to watch and support them. It's really fun. They're really awesome scrapbookers and great ladies anyway, so they're good to watch all year round, but this is a really fun project that they do for the month of September. So you can see here, this sticker was just perfect. So I stick it on and then I go, yay, I can use pink. So I add some more pink using these little doodly hearts, and it's just fun. So really I'm just going to have the 2 clusters and then add a title. I don't go crazy. I don't have much layering going on in my clusters this one, which is sometimes often what I really love to do. But I figured the little touches of embellishments were enough. So this is a clear sticker. Well, they're all pretty much clear stickers, but this one I didn't want to be see-through, so I'm just adding it onto cardstock and then fussy cutting with a tiny little white border, which means that it doesn't look like, it still retains the shape of the object, rather than if you cut it along the lines. If you accidentally cut it the wrong way, it becomes a bit more obvious than if you leave it with a white border, I find. So that's a nice little trick. I'm just going to have a play with what things could happen. I didn't realize, I thought these little stickers here were just tiny word stickers, as you know, normal random phrases. But they're actually, because I think these sticker books are mostly for memory planners, they are little prompts. So like, I really enjoyed this holiday, and then it'll be like ... so that you can write about it, or my favorite food, or those kind of things. So if you add that sticker on the top of a journaling spot, you could then write about all that, so that you could keep some memories and some thoughts in a nice little project, which would be really fun. So I've just pulled out some random stickers that I've got sitting here. Actually, I'm just pulling out anything random that's sitting on my Razcog to the left of me. And so I've got these enamel stickers, puffy stickers from the Cute Girl collection. I've added some stars and some hearts, and then I'm going to add these little curvy banners, because I just think they really add a bit of flair and a bit of pop of interest to the top and the bottom of the photos. So that they go there nicely. And I like how it's not end to end of the photos. It actually just captures part of it and draws your eye to it that way. So adding this chipboard circle there, and just having a play to make sure if there's anything else that I want to add. I add this cute little bird. Doesn't have anything to do with drinking tea, but that's alright. And I really like this gold ribbon, but actually there's no gold, so I didn't need to put any gold. Thinking about it now, I probably could have dived into my 3D embellishments and pulled out a fabric or a resin bow, and it would have looked pretty nice. It's going to add this little tiny word sticker up the top there, and that just adds something to the background of that cluster. And I just love the way I've got the clusters happening around the photo. So I'm just going to add this doodly border. I just add a single line. It's a thick kind of Sharpie, not too thick, but thicker than the normal thin Sharpie that I tend to use. And I'm just going to add some little lines in a couple of spots, just as something interesting. And I head to my thicker storage and pull out these black thickers. So going to spell time for tea. I realize, even though I've got 2 packets here, I've run out of R's already. It's really ridiculous. Something I didn't realize, and then so I've used the number 4. So time for tea. It is a photo of my teenage son, so I feel I could get away with it. I don't often use numbers in my writing, but it was fun, and I think it just fits nicely in that space as well. So I've fixed up where I want it. I'm going to add this little chipboard heart from the Cocoa Vanilla chipboard thickers, and then I'm going to use my paint pen to go over that heart and also the thickers. The foam thickers are nice, but they're just a little dull. So using the paint pen, which is just one that I got from Big W, but they work fantastically, means that it gives it that little bit of a sheen and a pop of the deep dark black of black. So I pull out some other paint pens, and this one is pink, so I'm just pushing it down to get it a bit juicy, and then I'm just flicking some ink splatters. You can definitely do this with spray mist or watercolors, but it was just fun to use it with the paint pens instead for a change so that I can get that bold color. And then I'm going to do it with the black as well, just because that's what I've got going on in this layout. So, oops, sorry for my big head. But hopefully if you enjoyed this video and you've checked out the girls, but also check out the list below, because there's many other videos already shown or coming up. So hopefully you've enjoyed this video today. Like and subscribe if you want to see some more goodness from myself. Otherwise, have a great day. Bye guys.